Let's count down 15 forgotten one-hit wonders from 1972. These weren't just songs, they were neon-lit time machines echoing through smoky jukebox bars and teenage bedrooms. And the final track, it was pure synth and somehow still sounds like the future.
Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things. Get it on, bang a gong. That man's rhyming, go tweet, 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 rock your heart and rock.
Number 15, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl by Looking Glass.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a great new group that's probably sold more hit records in the last year than we have. Ladies and gentlemen, Looking Glass.
You already know the opening riff, warm, wistful, and dripping with dockside dreams. Brandy wasn't just a song. It was a full-blown character study set to a yacht rock heartbeat. It sailed all the way to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and suddenly every small-town waitress became a muse.
The sailors say, Brandy, you're a fine girl, what a good wife.
The band Looking Glass never saw another hit quite like it, but this one, it stuck around, soundtracking everything from Guardians of the Galaxy to your uncle's late-night radio memories. Up next, a track that made every summer sunset feel like forever. Number 14, Nice to Be With You by Gallery. Soft, simple, and soaked in sunshine, this was AM gold. At its gentlest, Gallery's debut single hit number 4 and rode the mellow wave of the early 70s pop with a smile that never cracked. You could almost hear the bell-bottom swaying in the background.
Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things.
If you've ever driven past cornfields with the windows down, you know what this song feels like. It was played at weddings, on porches, and through every soft rock station for years, until it wasn't. But what comes next? A song that aimed to teach the world, and nearly did. Number 13, I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing by the New Seekers.
The world a home and furnish it with love.
What started as a Coca-Cola jingle became a worldwide sing-along. The New Seekers turned marketing magic into an actual hit, climbing to number 7 and inspiring a gentle global chorus. It was peace, love, and commercialism, all wrapped into one flower-powered anthem.
I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
And for a moment, it worked. Strangers hummed it in elevators, kids sang it in the classrooms, and the idea of harmony felt almost reachable and inspired a generation of misfits and dreamers. But next, we bring it back to the soft glow of a love song, written like a poem. And I'll write you a poem if you hit the subscribe button right now. Number 12, In the Rain by the Dramatics.
Okay, we're back with the Dramatics, and I guess we can start out by having you introduce yourself.
If Heartbreak had a weather report, this was it. In the Rain poured onto the soul charts in 1972, reaching number 5 on the Hot 100, and it hasn't dried up since. You could hear the literal thunder crack between verses, a production touch that felt cinematic. But it was the vocals, trembling, pleading, soaked with sorrow, that made this a standout. Even if you didn't know pain before, this track made you feel it. Next up, a Europop oddity that asked one question and made everyone answer. Number 11, How Do You Do by Mouth and McNeil.
Und weiter geht es jetzt mit einer Nummer von Mouth und McNeil.
Dutch duo. Strange name, perfect hook. How Do You Do exploded with cheerful harmonies and carnival-like keyboards, and somehow it just worked. It hit number 8 in the US and sounded like nothing else on the radio. It was the kind of tune you didn't admit you loved until you caught yourself humming it 2 hours later. For Mouth and McNeil, lightning only struck once in America, but man was it bright. But coming up next, a country-tinged anthem that was all smiles and a little defiance. Number 10, The Happiest Girl in the Whole USA by Donna Fargo.
I'm the happiest girl in the whole USA.
She was proud, she was joyful, she meant every word. Donna Fargo's debut single lit up both the country and pop charts, reaching number 11 overall with 0 apologies. This wasn't just optimism, it was a declaration, the kind of song that made newlyweds believe in forever and parents sway at kitchen tables. Fargo had more success in country circles, but in pop, this was her one bright bursting spark.
Just one more minute, that's why we moved it.
Coming up next, a love ballad so fragile it feels like it could break in your hands. Number 9, Precious and Few by Climax.
The music. I must admit, I thought this lot came from America, but in fact they come from the Midlands. It's the Climax Blues Band, and they couldn't get it wrong.
If you've ever danced in a dark gym under paper streamers, this song was probably playing. Precious and Few was as delicate as its title, a slow-burning ballad that made number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and gave Climax their one perfect brush with pop stardom. Larry Cox's haunting vocal delivery felt like a whispered secret, and the arrangement was pure candlelight. It soundtracked slow dances, breakups, and silent car rides home.
Precious and few are the moments we two can share.
Up next, a glam rock hit that struck its way into legend and then vanished. Number 8, Bang a Gong, Get It On by T-Rex.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4.
You felt it in your hips before your brain caught up. T-Rex's only U.S. hit burned with glam fire, swaggering guitars, sultry vocals, and a title that didn't ask, it commanded. Bang a Gong, Get It On hit number 10 and became a rock staple. But T-Rex never cracked the American mainstream again. Still, this one track left glitter in its wake, a flash of androgynous cool that redefined what rock could look and sound like. But next, a Beatles protege delivers heartbreak with pristine precision. Number 7, Day After Day by Badfinger.
I remember finding out about you.
Produced by George Harrison, layered with slide guitar and drenched in melancholy. Day After Day was Badfinger's heartbreak masterpiece. It soared to number 4 and gave the world a glimpse of what post-Beatles brilliance could look like. But behind the scenes, chaos, lawsuits, loss, and tragedy haunted the band.
Day after day.
Leaving this song is both a triumph and a haunting relic. If you've ever held onto someone you couldn't keep, this track hits like a letter never sent. Next, a power anthem, built for fists in the air and minds on fire. Number 6, Hold Your Head Up by Argent.
And has since formed another group. They have a very big hit record now all over the country called Hold Your Head Up. Please welcome Argent.
This was more than a song, it was a command. Hold Your Head Up by Argent. It didn't just ride the wave of prog rock, it punched through it with a swirling organ solo and defiant energy. It climbed to number 5, driven by a message that felt like an anthem for every outcast, dreamer, or late-night radio listener who needed to hear you're not alone.
Hold your head up. Whoa, hold your head up.
The song had muscle, soul, and just enough weird to make it unforgettable. But what comes next? A Latin groove that made California sweat. Number 5, Suaveito by Malo.
Having one successful musical group in the family would be enough for anyone, but not for the Santanas. So George Santana put together his own group, and what a dynamite group it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Malo.
You don't just listen to Suaveito, you sink into it. With its hypnotic rhythm and whispered harmonies, Malo's only big hit became known as the Chicano national anthem. It reached number 18 on the charts, but in communities across the Southwest, it was bigger than numbers. This was cruising music, backyard barbecue music, Sunday slow jam music.
Way that you hold me in the night, way that you make things go.
Carlos Santana's brother Jorge led the band, but this groove stood on its own, wrapped in lowrider soul. Next, a novelty track that was more Watergate than Woodstock. Number 4, Convention 72 by the Delegates.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Walter Klondike from Convention Hall, Miami Beach.
Parody meets politics in one of the strangest charting songs of the decade. Convention 72 by the Delegates was a spoken word satire of the presidential race, layering celebrity impressions over a funk-laced beat.
Hey, Mr. Kissinger.
Gotta find a woman, gotta find a woman, gotta find a woman, gotta find a woman.
Thank you, Henry Kissinger and Vice President Agnew.
Somehow it cracked the top 10, a time capsule of Nixon-era cynicism wrapped in humor. If you were alive in 72, you probably heard it once, then never again. But its weirdness? It stuck. Up next, a familiar voice, a cover track, and a glimpse of greatness. Number 3, Rockin Robin by Michael Jackson.
Man of many versatile talents, and not the least of which is always being a gentleman. Will you greet our special guest, Mr. Michael Jackson?
Yes, that Michael Jackson. Before the moonwalk, before Thriller, there was this, a bubbly bird call-laced cover that proved a 13-year-old could own the charts. Rockin Robin soared to number 2, showing off young MJ's uncanny charm and vocal agility. It wasn't his song originally, but it felt reborn. In his hands, and while Jackson would obviously go on to rewrite music history, this was his only solo hit from that era. A one-hit wonder, technically from the Kid. Next up, a funky fever dream, Band, adored and unforgettable. Number 2, Jungle Fever by the Chakachas. There's no mistaking this one. Jungle Fever was part funk, part exotic absurdity, and all groove. The Belgian band Chakachas whipped up a swirling instrumental laced with moans, bongos, and a bass line that won't quit. It peaked at number 8 and was immediately controversial, banned on many U.S. stations for its steamy sound effects, but the clubs didn't care. It throbbed through discotheques and backroom lounges, a weird, wild one-off that still turns heads. And now, a tune made of pure synth, ahead of its time and still echoing through the future. Number 1, Popcorn by Hot Butter. This was the future. In 1972, Popcorn by Hot Butter was all bleeps, bloops, and bubbly wonder, a Moog synth instrumental that hit number 9 and planted early seeds of electronic music. No vocals, no lyrics, just sound, pure and playful. It felt like a video game before video games were a thing. And though Hot Butter never charted again, this one hit pulsed through generations, sampled, remixed, and still instantly recognizable to anyone who grew up with a joystick in hand. If you found this deep dive memorable, hit like and subscribe so we can keep the music alive. These weren't just tracks. They were sonic postcards from 1972, moments frozen in AM gold and FM static. Which of these songs hit you the hardest or surprised you the most? Next up, we're diving into 1974, where the ghosts of glam and folk clashed on every stage. You won't believe what made the list. Click the video on screen now to keep this journey going. Some legends fade, others hide in plain sight.